One thought can rewrite your destiny. A single shift in mindset unlocks hidden power, rewires your reality, and opens limitless possibilities. The mind code of creation shows why your inner dialogue shapes your world and how mastering it turns ordinary moments into extraordinary breakthroughs. In this video, you will learn how to harness the hidden power of a single thought, reprogram limiting beliefs, and activate the mind code of creation to design the life you truly desire. Step by step, you'll see how thoughts shape reality and how to shape yours. You sit within the most extraordinary creative force that has ever existed, and yet most of humanity remains blind to this magnificent power that dwells within their own consciousness. Your mind is not merely a collection of thoughts wandering aimlessly through your daily experience, but rather the very blueprint of creation itself, the sacred code through which infinite intelligence expresses itself in your world. When you truly comprehend this fundamental truth, when you allow it to penetrate the deepest recesses of your understanding, you will discover that every single thought you think is a command issued to the creative forces of the universe, a directive that must be fulfilled according to the immutable laws that govern all existence. The subconscious mind, that vast reservoir of infinite wisdom and power that lies beneath the surface of your conscious awareness, receives every thought, every belief, every mental image you impress upon it, and works tirelessly day and night to bring these impressions into physical manifestation in your life. This is not mysticism or wishful thinking, but the fundamental operating principle of consciousness itself, the divine mechanism through which thoughts become things, dreams become reality, and the invisible realm of mind becomes the visible world of experience. A woman approached Dr. Joseph Murphy with tears streaming down her face, explaining how she had spent years believing herself to be unlucky in love, constantly affirming to herself that good men were hard to find, that relationships never worked out for her, that she was destined to be alone. Her subconscious mind, being completely impersonal and accepting every thought as truth, had faithfully created circumstances that matched her dominant mental patterns, bringing her a series of disappointing relationships and failed encounters that seemed to confirm her negative beliefs. But when she learned to reverse this process, when she began to consciously choose thoughts of love, worthiness, and gratitude, when she started to see herself as a magnet for divine love and began to expect wonderful things to unfold in her romantic life, her entire experience shifted dramatically within a matter of weeks, and she soon met and married a man who exceeded every quality she had dared to hope for in a partner. The mind operates according to definite laws, just as surely as the law of gravity governs the physical realm, and these mental laws are working in your life right now, this very moment, whether you are conscious of them or not. Your dominant thoughts, your habitual mental patterns, your deeply held beliefs about yourself and your possibilities are constantly being impressed upon your subconscious mind, which then proceeds to create circumstances, attract opportunities, and orchestrate events that correspond exactly to these mental impressions. This is why one person can walk through life experiencing abundance, joy, perfect health, and harmonious relationships, while another person in the same city, with access to the same opportunities, experiences lack, struggle, illness, and conflict. The difference lies not in external circumstances, not in luck or fate or divine favoritism, but in the quality and direction of their thinking, in the mental pictures they habitually entertain, in the beliefs they hold about what is possible for them. Every thought is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, and like any seed, it must produce fruit after its own kind. Plant thoughts of lack and limitation, and you will harvest experiences of scarcity and restriction. Plant thoughts of abundance and possibility, and you will reap a harvest of prosperity and expanded opportunities. This is not theory, but demonstrable fact, proven again and again by countless individuals who have learned to harness the creative power of their own consciousness. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been struggling for years to advance in his career, watching as younger colleagues received promotions while he remained stagnant, convinced that office politics and favoritism were working against him. His constant focus on unfairness and his belief that success was for other people created a mental atmosphere of resentment and defeat that his subconscious mind faithfully reproduced in his external circumstances. But when he learned to redirect his thinking, to see himself as valuable and capable, to expect recognition and advancement, to feel grateful for opportunities to contribute and grow, his career began to flourish in ways that amazed his colleagues and superiors, leading to the very promotion he had been seeking, along with increased respect and new opportunities for leadership. Your subconscious mind is like a faithful servant that never questions, never argues, never doubts the instructions you give it through your thoughts and beliefs. It simply accepts whatever you impress upon it as absolute truth and works with mathematical precision to create external conditions that match your internal mental state. This servant has access to infinite intelligence, unlimited creative power, and resources beyond your conscious comprehension, but it can only work with the material you provide through your thinking patterns. If you consistently think thoughts of fear, doubt, and limitation, your subconscious mind will create experiences that validate these fears and confirm these limitations. If you habitually think thoughts of confidence, abundance, and possibility, your subconscious mind will orchestrate circumstances that support your confidence and manifest your desired outcomes. The key to transforming your reality lies not in trying to control external circumstances, not in manipulating people or situations, but in taking complete responsibility for the quality of your thinking and deliberately choosing thoughts that align with your highest aspirations and deepest desires. Every morning when you awaken, you have the opportunity to set the creative forces of your mind in motion by consciously choosing the thoughts you will entertain, the beliefs you will nourish, and the mental images you will hold throughout the day. This is the most important work you will ever do, more crucial than any business meeting, more significant than any social engagement, more powerful than any external action you might take. When you truly understand that your thoughts are the primary creative force in your life, you will guard your mind as carefully as you would guard your most precious treasure, protecting it from negative influences, toxic conversations, and limiting beliefs, while consistently feeding it with thoughts of gratitude, possibility, and unlimited potential. The biblical principle that states, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he," reveals the fundamental truth about consciousness and creation that has been understood by wise individuals throughout history. Your heart, in this context, refers not to the physical organ but to your deep subconscious beliefs, your core convictions about yourself and your possibilities, the mental patterns that have become so habitual they operate below the level of conscious awareness. These deep-seated beliefs form the foundation of your entire life experience, determining what you attract, what you repel, what you notice, what you ignore, what seems possible to you, and what appears impossible. A person who believes deeply in their heart that they are worthy of love, success, and happiness will unconsciously make choices, take actions, and create circumstances that validate this belief. Conversely, someone who harbors deep beliefs of unworthiness, inadequacy, or limitation will find that life consistently provides evidence to support these negative convictions. The tragedy is that most people are completely unaware of these subconscious beliefs, thinking they are victims of circumstances beyond their control when they are actually experiencing the perfect outward manifestation of their inner mental world. A woman shared with Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had noticed a peculiar pattern in her life where every time she was on the verge of a significant breakthrough, whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, she would somehow sabotage her success through poor decisions, emotional outbursts, or self-defeating behaviors. Through careful examination of her thought patterns, she discovered that she harbored a deep subconscious belief that she didn't deserve good things, that success would somehow make her different from her family and friends, that achieving her dreams would require her to abandon the people she loved. Once she identified and consciously changed these limiting beliefs, replacing them with thoughts of worthiness, gratitude, and the understanding that her success would enable her to help others more effectively, she was able to break through previous barriers and achieve levels of success that had previously seemed impossible. The process of mental transformation begins with the recognition that you are not at the mercy of random circumstances, genetic predispositions, or environmental factors, but that you possess within yourself the power to recreate your entire life experience through the conscious direction of your thinking. This recognition often comes as a shock to individuals who have spent years believing themselves to be victims of fate, genetics, bad luck, or other people's actions. Yet once this fundamental truth is grasped, once you realize that your mind is the creative center of your universe, you begin to see that every situation in your life, whether pleasant or challenging, has been attracted through your dominant mental patterns and can be changed by establishing new patterns of thought. The subconscious mind operates continuously, 24 hours a day, processing information, making connections, and working to manifest in your outer world whatever you have impressed upon it through your conscious thinking. While you sleep, while you work, while you engage in conversation or recreation, your subconscious mind is busy arranging circumstances, attracting people, and orchestrating events that correspond to your mental blueprint. This is why it is absolutely essential to take conscious control of your thinking patterns, to become aware of the quality and direction of your habitual thoughts, and to deliberately impress upon your subconscious mind only those thoughts and beliefs that support your highest good and greatest joy. A man reported to Dr. Joseph Murphy that for months he had been repeating the affirmation, "I am prosperous, successful, and surrounded by abundance," while simultaneously worrying about his bills, complaining about his income, and constantly discussing financial difficulties with friends and family. Despite his positive affirmations, his financial situation continued to deteriorate because his subconscious mind was receiving conflicting messages, and the emotional intensity behind his worries and complaints was much stronger than the mechanical repetition of his affirmations. Only when he learned to align his emotions with his desired outcomes, to feel genuine gratitude for current blessings while maintaining absolute faith in improved conditions, did his financial circumstances begin to shift in positive directions. The creative power of thought operates through the principle of faith, which is not blind belief or wishful thinking, but rather a deep inner knowing, a complete acceptance of your desired outcome as already accomplished in the invisible realm of mind before it manifests in the visible world of form. Faith is the bridge between the world of thoughts and the world of experience, the mechanism through which mental images become physical realities. When you hold a thought or desire with complete faith, when you accept it as already yours in consciousness, when you feel the joy and gratitude of its fulfillment even before seeing physical evidence, you create an irresistible magnetic force that draws your desire from the invisible realm into visible manifestation. This is not make-believe or psychological manipulation, but the fundamental way consciousness operates according to divine law. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and an actual physical experience, which is why athletes who mentally rehearse their performances often achieve better results than those who only practice physically, why students who visualize themselves succeeding on examinations often outperform those who only study, and why individuals who consistently see themselves as healthy, prosperous, and happy tend to manifest these conditions in their lives regardless of current circumstances. A woman told Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had been diagnosed with a serious illness and given a poor prognosis by several medical specialists. Instead of accepting this diagnosis as final, she began to spend time each day visualizing herself as perfectly healthy, feeling grateful for her body's natural healing abilities, and affirming her complete restoration to perfect health. She saw herself receiving good news from doctors, engaging in activities she loved, and living a full, vibrant life. Within 6 months, follow-up tests showed no trace of the illness, leaving medical professionals amazed and unable to explain her recovery through conventional understanding. Her healing came not through denial of the diagnosis, but through her unwavering faith in the body's ability to restore itself when directed by right thinking and supported by the infinite healing power of the subconscious mind. Every prayer, every affirmation, every positive statement you make is most effective when it comes from a consciousness of already having received what you desire, rather than from a consciousness of lack or need. When you pray, "Please give me prosperity," or affirm, "I need more money," you are actually affirming your current state of lack and need, impressing upon your subconscious mind the very conditions you wish to change. But when you pray, "Thank you for my abundant prosperity," or affirm, "I am grateful for the wealth that flows to me easily and continuously," you are speaking from a consciousness of having, of abundance, of gratitude, and your subconscious mind works to make this consciousness a physical reality. This shift from asking to thanking, from needing to having, from wanting to being grateful, represents one of the most important principles in the effective use of mental creative power. The subconscious mind responds most powerfully to thoughts and words that are accompanied by corresponding emotions and feelings. Dry, mechanical repetition of positive statements, while your emotions remain centered in worry, doubt, or fear, will produce minimal results, because emotion is the power that drives thought into manifestation. You must learn to feel your way into your desired outcomes, to experience the emotions you would feel if your desires were already fulfilled, to generate within yourself the same feelings you would have if you were living your ideal life right now. A man shared with Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had been affirming prosperity for months without seeing significant changes in his financial circumstances. When questioned about his approach, he revealed that he was mechanically repeating prosperity affirmations while his emotions remained dominated by anxiety about money, resentment toward those who had more than he did, and fear about his financial future. Only when he learned to accompany his affirmations with feelings of gratitude for current blessings, excitement about future opportunities, and confidence in his ability to create wealth through valuable service to others, did his financial situation begin to improve dramatically, leading to new income sources and unexpected opportunities that he had never imagined possible. The imagination is perhaps the most important faculty of your mind when it comes to creating desired changes in your life experience, for it is through controlled imagination that you impress clear, definite images upon your subconscious mind and set the creative forces in motion toward specific outcomes. Your imagination is not merely a tool for entertainment or escapism, but the very workshop of creation, the laboratory where you combine thoughts, feelings, and mental images to create blueprints that your subconscious mind then works to manifest in your physical experience. Every invention that has blessed humanity, every great work of art that has inspired generations, every breakthrough in science or medicine, every successful business venture, first existed as an image in someone's imagination before becoming a physical reality. When you learn to use your imagination constructively, when you deliberately create vivid mental pictures of your desired outcomes and consistently return to these images with faith and feeling, you are using the same creative process that has brought forth every positive advancement in human civilization. The key is to make your mental images as clear, detailed, and emotionally compelling as possible, to see yourself not as you are, but as you wish to become, to experience in imagination the feelings you would have when your desires are fulfilled, and to persist in this mental work until your desired outcomes manifest in your external circumstances. A woman approached Dr. Joseph Murphy with a desire to find her ideal home but felt discouraged by limited financial resources and a competitive real estate market. Instead of focusing on obstacles and limitations, she began to spend time each day in detailed visualization, seeing herself walking through her perfect home, feeling the textures of beautiful furnishings, smelling fresh flowers in a lovely garden, experiencing the joy and peace of living in her ideal environment. She saw herself entertaining friends, cooking meals in a beautiful kitchen, relaxing in comfortable spaces, and feeling completely at home and at peace. Within 3 months, through a series of unexpected circumstances and opportunities that seemed almost miraculous, she was able to purchase a home that matched her visualization in virtually every detail, at a price within her budget, and under conditions that amazed real estate professionals who had predicted such an outcome would be impossible given market conditions. Your words carry tremendous creative power because they are expressions of your thoughts and beliefs, and when spoken with conviction and faith, They become commands to your subconscious mind and declarations to the creative forces of the universe. Every word you speak is either building up or tearing down, creating or destroying, moving you toward your desires or away from them. This is why it is absolutely essential to become conscious of your speech patterns, to notice what you consistently say about yourself, your circumstances, your possibilities, and your future. If you habitually speak words of lack, limitation, fear, and doubt, you are literally programming your subconscious mind to create more of these conditions in your life. If you consistently speak words of abundance, possibility, gratitude, and faith, you are directing your creative power toward the manifestation of these positive conditions. Your words should become tools of transformation, instruments of creation, vehicles for expressing your highest aspirations and deepest convictions about what is possible for you. Every time you speak, you have the opportunity to either reinforce old patterns that may be limiting your growth, or to establish new patterns that support your transformation and success. A man told Dr. Joseph Murphy that he had developed the habit of constantly saying, "I can't afford it," whenever he encountered anything he desired, whether it was a better car, a nicer home, a vacation, or even simple luxuries like dinner at a good restaurant. This seemingly innocent phrase was actually a powerful affirmation of limitation that his subconscious mind accepted as truth and worked to validate by ensuring that he continued to experience financial restriction. When he learned to replace this limiting phrase with empowering statements like, "I am finding ways to afford the things I desire," or "Money comes to me easily for all good purposes," his financial circumstances began to improve as his subconscious mind started working to make his new, more positive statements true in his experience. Within a year, his income had increased significantly, and he was able to afford many things that had previously seemed beyond his reach, all because he changed the words he habitually spoke about money and his relationship to it. The practice of mental discipline, the conscious choice to think deliberately and positively rather than allowing your mind to wander aimlessly through worry, fear, and negative speculation, is perhaps the most important skill you can develop for creating lasting transformation in your life. Most people allow their minds to operate automatically, thinking whatever thoughts happen to arise, reacting to external circumstances, accepting whatever mental content appears in their consciousness without discrimination or conscious direction. This undisciplined approach to thinking is like allowing weeds to grow in a garden intended for beautiful flowers and nourishing vegetables. Your mind is a garden, and you are the gardener. You have the power and responsibility to choose what you will plant, what you will cultivate, and what you will allow to grow in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Every moment of every day, you are either planting seeds of success, happiness, and abundance, or you are allowing weeds of worry, fear, and limitation to take root and flourish. The choice is always yours, and the results will always correspond to the quality of your mental gardening. When negative thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, you do not need to struggle against them or feel guilty about their appearance. Simply recognize them as unwanted visitors in your mental garden, decline to give them attention and emotional energy, and immediately replace them with thoughts that support your highest good and greatest joy. This practice requires vigilance and persistence in the beginning, but like any skill, it becomes easier and more natural with consistent application. A woman shared with Dr. Joseph Murphy that she had spent most of her adult life plagued by anxious thoughts about everything that could go wrong in her life, constantly imagining worst-case scenarios and living in a state of chronic worry that affected her health, her relationships, and her ability to enjoy simple pleasures. When she learned to catch these destructive thought patterns and immediately redirect her attention to positive possibilities, to blessings she could be grateful for, and to solutions rather than problems, her entire life experience transformed within a few months, leading to improved health, more harmonious relationships, and a sense of peace and confidence she had never before experienced. The infinite intelligence that created and sustains the universe operates through your subconscious mind, giving you access to wisdom, creativity, and problem-solving abilities that far exceed anything your conscious mind could produce through logical analysis alone. When you learn to trust this inner wisdom, when you cultivate the habit of turning within for guidance and direction, when you practice listening to the still, small voice of intuition that speaks in the silence of your soul, you discover that you have access to a source of intelligence and creativity that can solve any problem, overcome any obstacle, and guide you to the fulfillment of your highest aspirations. This divine intelligence is not separate from you but is your very life, your essential nature, the source of your being, and the foundation of your creative power. Prayer, meditation, and quiet contemplation are not merely spiritual exercises, but practical methods for accessing this inner wisdom and aligning your conscious desires with the perfect outworking of divine intelligence in your life. When you present a problem or desire to your subconscious mind through prayer or meditation, and then release it with faith and gratitude, trusting completely in the perfect resolution, you allow infinite intelligence to work through you in ways that often exceed your most optimistic expectations. A man approached Dr. Joseph Murphy with a complex business problem that had been troubling him for months. Several expensive consultants had been unable to provide satisfactory solutions, and he was facing potential financial disaster if the situation could not be resolved quickly. Dr. Murphy suggested that instead of continuing to worry and struggle with conscious analysis, he should present the problem clearly to his subconscious mind through prayer, ask for divine guidance and wisdom, and then completely release the matter while maintaining absolute faith that the perfect solution would be revealed at the right time. Within days, while he was engaged in a completely unrelated activity, the man experienced a sudden flash of insight that revealed not only the solution to his immediate problem, but also a completely new approach to his business that ultimately led to greater success and profitability than he had ever imagined possible. The answer had been within him all along, waiting to be accessed through the infinite intelligence of his subconscious mind.